In October 2018 I rode Hadrian's cycleway, 174 miles from Ravenglass to South Shields. I took the train from home to Ravenglass. The Ravenglass and Eskdale Railway backs onto the station. I looked around the museum. Took my bike on the train 7 miles to Dalegarth station. Cycled back to Ravenglass, had dinner at the Ratty Arms and stayed the night at Muncaster Castle. Next day, the ride began.
Okay, so I'm at the Roman bathhouse in Ravenglass, about to start on the 174-mile Hadrian cycleway ride to South Shields.
From Ravenglass, the route leaves on this narrow bridge attached to the railway bridge.
So it's called the Hadrian cycleway because it starts at a Roman ruin, which is the Roman bathhouse in Ravenglass. It tracks up the coast to the end of Hadrian's wall at Bowness-on-Solway, then turns right and goes across country following Hadrian's wall, before finally ending at another Roman ruin, which is a fort in South Shields. So the first place I've come to is Drigg, site of Britain's low-level waste radioactive depository.
Should I be worried?
And here we are, riding on the seafront at sea scale. Hello!
Is that in the way?
No.
Soon I reached Sellafield Nuclear Fuel Reprocessing and Nuclear Decommissioning Site.
And now we're heading on towards, well, eventually Whitehaven. It's about 10 miles to Whitehaven, where I'll stop for a bite of lunch. So beautiful this morning, the riding is so easy. Now where are we going? Must be that way. I think we're back on the old railway line.
I found the start of the original coast-to-coast cycle route and had some lunch.
Just come through Whitehaven, had lunch in Whitehaven, beautiful cycle path. Next stop, Workington. Well, I've reached Workington, but I seem as though I'm bypassing the town centre on the coast, on the Hadrian cycleway. Right.
Turn left here for Maryport.
Well, I've almost finished my day's ride from Ravenglass to Maryport, and I have to say, big shout out for Sustrans. The route 72 has been beautifully marked and beautifully kept. The day's ride over, we're just pulling into Maryport Harbour. Journey's end for day one, about 37 miles from Ravenglass into Maryport.
I stayed overnight at the Golden Lion Hotel and learned that Fletcher Christian hailed from these parts.
Today I'm going to be heading right up the coast to Bowness and Solway. Not such a nice day as yesterday, but looks as though it should be fine. Well, I'm just leaving Maryport, riding along the promenade, heading north.
Just out of Maryport, Allenby looked quite depressing. Back on country roads, I rode right past the gin-case tea rooms. and was soon in Silloth. I had tea at Mrs. Wilson's with its tribute to Kathleen Ferrier. Then it was off down the main street towards Carlisle.
Really rather a pleasant ride so far.
Another tea room.
And we've just come to Newton Arlosh. Again, quiet roads all the way.
The church at Newton Arlosh is unique in that it has this door that's only 2 feet 7 inches wide. This made it easy to defend when they were under attack from the Border Reivers.
On the last few miles into Bowness-on-Solway now.
The bench commemorates the Solway Viaduct, demolished in 1935. Then it was into Bowness-on-Solway, the official start of Hadrian's Wall.
Okay, Sunday morning, just leaving Bowness-on-Solway. Tide is out, Solway's looking very, very brown. And I'm guessing this is the time of the day when you could actually walk across it if you wanted to. Just riding along to Burgh by Sands, that's the first place I'm coming to. And when I get there, there's a monument to Edward I who was killed fighting the Scots. So I'm going to stop, see if I can find that.
There is a statue in the village, but the official monument is a few miles off, down by the edge of the Solway. So it's off-road to explore. And this is it.
Well, that's the monument to Edward I. Going back to the bike now. Main road, Carlisle city centre coming up. Carlisle city centre.
I saw Carlisle Cathedral and Castle.
Now we're leaving Carlisle. I think we're riding alongside the River Eden. So our next stop I think is going to be Brampton. Oh, an interesting bridge to cross. Just out of Carlisle now, still on a lovely cycle track beside the main road.
I had a short break and a bite to eat in Brampton.
We're leaving Brampton now, and I've seen the sign that says the start of Hadrian's Wall Tourist Trail. Whoa, might see the wall at last. I think I must have done 100 miles.
This is Lanercost Priory, owned by English Heritage.
And at last, after a long climb, the first signs of Hadrian's Wall. This is Banks East, turret 52A. Oh, and it's a long climb to get up to it. Nice quiet roads now, somewhere along adjacent to where Hadrian's Wall would have been. Not much sign of it so far, the odd little milepost, and that's it. No stretch of wall yet. Here we are, Hadrian's Wall. And we're at Bird Oswald West, turret 49B. And so into Gillsland. End of day 3.
I've just come past the sign that said halt whistle 2.5 miles. If it's all downhill, that would be rather nice. This is halt whistle. Time for a coffee break.
We've got a little ford here, which I could be bold and take, and then I've just spotted there's a little bridge so I can go around it. I'd rather not fall off and get wet feet.
I was defeated by some hills and had to get off and push.
Well, that was quite a climb out of Greenhead. But I'm pleased to say we're up above the mist, and as that says there, it was a 14% climb. That's where we've just come.
Round these parts, sheep have priority. I've just turned off the road onto this narrow single track road, supposedly heading to Vindolanda. Seems to be on a quiet road that runs alongside the A69. Thankfully, it looks like we've done all the climbing, or the most of the climbing, and we can freewheel for a while, get our breath back. There was a £7 entry fee at Vindolanda, and as I wasn't staying long, I just took some long distance shots before carrying on. Just 2.5 miles from Hexham now, on another quiet lane. Presume we'll go under the bridge. So we do. And out the other side. And here we cross the railway line. Nothing's coming. Over we go. Through the gate at the other side. Carry on. The cycle track bypasses Hexham, so it's a side trip to see the town and to get a bite to eat. Now we're back on the route. Seems to be taking us out through a car park. I can just see the Tyne over to the left and a big bridge. It wasn't long before we reached Corbridge and stopped for the night. Watling Street reminds us of its Roman heritage.
It's 9 o'clock the last day, back where I ended last night. Just about 30 odd miles into South Shields to go.
Well, it's been a 2-mile climb out of Corbridge up a gentle incline on the main road. Now we've turned off onto this minor road again, so it should be relatively traffic free. Next stop, I'm hoping, is going to be Wylam, and there's George Stephenson's birthplace which I'd like to go and have a look at. No bikes once we go across. It looks as though we go across the footbridge but we walk. And this, I'm guessing, is the Tyne.
Well, here's the funny bridge we've just come over, where I've walked across the footbridge part of it, and we're now on the Tyne cycle path, I think he called it. So I should follow this all the way down to Newcastle now.
And this is Hagbank Bridge at Wylam, an old railway bridge.
just seen a sign that says 18 miles to go.
Unfortunately, George Stevenson's house is closed until the National Trust figure out what to do with it.
I'm riding alongside the Tyne. So now you can't see it. Whee! Hadrian Cycleway. Press the button. Crossed over the road, down onto the riverside next.
Headley's Riverside Coffee Shop. The Tyne Amateur Rowing Club Boathouse.
Then we're back out in the open again.
Not far into Newcastle now.
Lots of bridges coming into view.
Soon we were passing through Newcastle city centre. Then it was on to Wall's End.
And so through an arch it says Hadrian Cycleway.
We passed the entrance to the Tyne Tunnel. Then it was on to the Shields pedestrian ferry to get across the river to South Shields. Finally, it was just a mile to Arbea Roman Fort and the end of my 174-mile ride.